Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for support if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye.
I didn't understand this years ago. Now I do, and I get it. And I understand. But this is also why I have the urgency in my spirit for people to start, to grow and to get better and to be reading the books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon, Why the Rich Are Getting Richer. For people who are in business and looking to get better in business, Russell Brunson's got 3 books that I think are really helpful, especially Expert Secrets. I've been reading a bunch of books about the culture of Southwest Airlines because part of my call is to go fix a lot of these companies and sports teams and different, I have a measure and capacity for that and a gift. But I'm reading about these different cultures that are really good and getting that capacity in me. And it's like, you see Joey Chestnut. He goes and he wins the hot dog eating contest every year. Or at least my perception is every year. I don't watch it, but I'm aware of it. And he didn't do that overnight. He built up capacity to be able to eat that many hot dogs in that short of a period of time. Right? He didn't just show up one day and, I'm going to crush it. And I wonder how many people are feeling this with the wealth transfer, where it's like, I don't need to change. I just need more money. Except money only exacerbates what's already in you. So if you're broke inside and you have no skills, your lack of, it's going to show. Chestnut is a legend. Again, I don't watch it, but I think it's a good illustration for a bunch of us. You are two spies among the 12. This is new to the body, and Joshua and Caleb were against 2 million people. Yeah, except I think our numbers are going to be a lot better. We should learn from Joshua and Caleb and from the experience in the wilderness and all this stuff too. It's like, we don't have to repeat their mistakes. We don't have to have their math either. So I believe, because it literally was, it wasn't that Joshua and Caleb were 2 out of 12. They were 2 out of millions. And God killed off that whole generation. So it's like, can we not learn something from that and have honest reflection? A bunch of you could start groups in your church. I think there's huge value in that. As soon as I read in The Richest Man in Babylon, when the richest man started to meet with the men of the city every week, I thought that was brilliant. Many of you could be doing that in your churches or among your communities, to get together and talk about money, talk about finances, talk about things you're learning, talk about books, talk about concepts, talking about these things. Where we put our attention, our energy goes towards those things. So when we're talking about increasing financially, and then we're talking about increasing financially, our attention goes there. These are actually biblical concepts that I don't want us to ignore. God has changed me so I can handle more money. God has broken the poverty mindset off of me. That's awesome, Eric. And that's how it should be. And we should be increasing now, increasing our capacity, our skill sets, our incomes, all of this stuff before the wealth transfer happens. Because we're already then in motion. Right? If people prayed for the children half as much as they pray for the RV, we might get somewhere. it's not, well, yes. But it's like if we spent more time preparing rather than constantly asking when it's going to happen, like we might provoke God to cause it to happen faster, but it's still better for it to happen in its time. I'm not so focused on when certain things are going to happen. In my spirit, there's a logic conclusion I've come to about the end of 24 based on a presidential election. So that to me seems really easy. That's an easy conclusion to draw. So I want to be prepared when stuff happens so that I can take the most advantage of it. I don't want to be the guy taking my talent and burying it under a tree. And that parable, it's so clear, right? Each was given according to their own abilities. Well, if each is given according to their own abilities, then I want to have the most abilities so that I get the most. Like, that is my mindset. I was praying a couple weeks ago and I asked God when the RV would occur. 19th popped into my head. Again, I've kind of I've stopped chasing dates. I've started to focus on preparedness. Not saying your dream is not valid. It's just a bunch of us chase dates for a long time. I feel like I'm the only one in my church, me and my wife actually, but the church is littered with people with the poverty mindset. In that case, I would say find a group to join. Be it our group, somebody else's group. Like, that community is important, to be around like-minded people where you don't feel crazy. I don't think I can stress that enough. Like, for our group, God has really had it put in my spirit that we need to be starting small groups on a bigger scale. So right now, like, I've got 3 more small groups to fill, so another 45 people. And to get in those, it's $249 a month. And really, groups like that, from what I'm finding on the internet, are easily worth $500 or $1,000 a month. Easily. I want the evil gone. We all do, but what you mentioned is going to be part of. We need money and we need influence. So we need both, in my opinion. The book, Psycho-Cybernetics, is full of understanding, and as a man thinks, so is he, and the power of imagination, vision, identity, and how to make your destiny. A lot of people have gotten a lot out of that book. That one for me, I've tried to get through it. I've got through parts of it, but I've been more led to becoming supernatural. So even in that, it's like, one book might not resonate, but another one will. And I think we all need to realize God's got different plans in terms of how he's going to get us ready, right? Like, the game plan for one person might not be the same as somebody else. So when we realize that, you need to go to like what really resonates for you, because that's what you need in this time and season. That is a good book, though, that a lot of people have gotten a lot out of. I want to encourage people. I had a prophetic word given over me about 4 years ago that I'm a leader, which I knew. I knew that a long time ago. My wife and I are both leaders, and we're called to lead people into great hope. So that's what I want to do today, is give people hope and have you understand that breakthrough's coming. I don't think or believe for a second that this is the end. I don't. Hey, Ollie, it's good to see you. So the perspective that we have really matters. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And what's interesting to me right now is that you have the evil people who are saying everything's over, and you have the Christian people that are saying everything's over. And it's like, wait a second. If we all have the same opinion, is that not a giant red flag that somebody's wrong? Why are we agreeing with the people that are cursing the U.S. and speaking destruction? I have a pretty interesting view on the rapture that I'm not sure most of you are ready for. But we weren't told to watch for the rapture. We were told to occupy until he comes. No, it's a restoration. It is a restoration. Total righteous turnaround is the word I was given years ago. For the RV, the Lord will position you strategically on who or what to sow into. I have a small church called Pioneer and a small Christian school. Cool. He will. God guides our steps. I was reading that this morning in Proverbs 16. And it's like he does guide our steps. He always does. I kind of feel I'm supposed to end it here. I'm becoming really self-aware of like, hey, you've poured out your measure. You're good. So I guess this is it for this one. If you need a group to be part of, you're welcome to join my group. Like I mentioned, there's 3 different levels. It all offers the same benefits. It's just whatever level of support you want to do, you can do. So $75 US, $97 US a month, and $149. Those are the 3 options for you. Those get you on our big calls, which are the first and third week of the month. It's been Thursdays, but those are actually going to be moving, I think, to Mondays or Wednesdays. And it gets you access to all the replays of those calls as well. And then for $249, you can get in a small group. I'm currently filling spots for small group number 2. And again, I have a real urgency in my spirit because there are certain ones of us that need to come together to build relationships so that we have those relationships at the end of 24 when it's like the doors start to open. This is important for some people. Matthew, yeah, he guides our steps even when we're not paying attention. You spoke on a 10-year reprieve. Will you talk about that? Yeah, I'm actually cool covering that for a few minutes. So if you're wanting to join my group really quick or join our group, there's a link for my Patreon down below. You can join there. And then if you're interested in a small group, you can send me a message on Patreon. But I message people who join anyways, if they don't message me right away. So if you're not sure how to message me, I'll message you. I've talked a lot, as Ali mentioned, about a 10-year reprieve. And what I really believe is going to happen is you're going to have this time where like there's going to be a total righteous turnaround. But then it's going to be really important that we step in and occupy. The temptation that I think is going to happen is people are going to be like, well, things are good. We don't need to have influence or occupy or do any of that. And that would be a mistake because in the Bible, it illustrates where, a spirit gets cleaned out and then nothing comes in to fill that space. And then it comes back with 7 of its friends and it's 7 times worse. That's what's going to happen in America if we don't occupy. What do I mean by occupy? By having influence in school divisions and in government and business and arts and entertainment and all these mountains that people are like, we need to have this influence so that the spaces aren't empty, so that what we're getting rid of doesn't come back 7 times worse. So that's where, like for me, even having a group after the wealth transfer is to keep us focused so that we remember, hey, we need to be having influence and we can't just step back and, we can't get lazy because everything seems like it's good now. There needs to be this persistence in keeping it that way. So that's the essence behind the 10-year reprieve. It's not to get complacent. It's an opportunity for us to have significant influence and to build build these infrastructures and different things that we need to in order to have the influence that we're called to have. We're called to rule and reign with him. You do that by doing your job and your assignment. And there's too many people that have sat on the sidelines and haven't done their assignment. So that's part of why the chaos is going on, right? The earth is literally crying out for the manifestation of the sons of God. What does that mean? It means the earth is literally crying out for you to do your job that you were created for and assigned to. So it's getting that correct identity. How do we make sure this never happens again? Build in every area of society and establish the kingdom there. Every area, every space we will occupy. That's exactly it. Matthew's totally right on there. We can't step away from our positions of influence again. People have gotten so complacent because they assume the rapture's here and it's like, well, everything's over. That's not the attitude we were told to have. We were told to occupy until he comes, to do business until he returns. So it's a change in mind shift from looking to escape from here to looking to occupy here. That's what it really becomes about. And then you're not constantly just looking for the end. You're taking it one day at a time, right? We're not supposed to dwell in the past, and we're not supposed to worry about tomorrow. We're supposed to be in today, in this present moment right now. We're supposed to be being effective here. Reminds me of the 7 good years and the 7 years of famine, except it doesn't have to be that way. I don't believe there has to be 7 years of famine. And people are so fascinated. I'm not saying you are, Eric, but people are fascinated with this idea of famine. They don't even read what the Bible says. It says that there's going to be famine in some places, not everywhere, some. Do you really think that God is going to turn his back on the righteous and is just going to like have everyone starve to death? Because I don't. That's not a good father. Like, God is not going to take the people who love him and are called according to his purpose and then have them starve to death. It's not. Like, that's... People take this doomsday stuff way too far. What if all that's happened already? Our blessing is soon. Theodore, I would venture to say our blessing's already here. It's just people have attached it to a specific event. God has given us the power to create wealth. Abraham created wealth. He became wealthy. How did he do that? Well, he had ideas that were given to him from God, and he acted on them and made things happen. Okay, I'm supposed to end the stream. So, bless you all. Thank you for watching. For those of you who are interested in joining our group, there's a link for the Patreon down below. You can sign up there. Our call tonight, our big group call, is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope to see you all there, because I'm always excited about our calls, because there's always really good stuff that just comes out of it. 1 sends 1,000 a flight, 2 sends 10,000 a flight. When you have even more people in alignment, those numbers just continue to multiply. So, bless you all. Hey, Matthew, bless you. It's good to see you. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks all for watching. And I will see you all in the next stream.